Hi, this is Lincoln Stoller introducing a Kickstarter campaign for my new game, Clients versus Architects, a game based on witnessing the emergence of modern architecture in the middle 20th century and the struggles between clients and architects. I'm offering a signed limited edition of personally assembled games, a selection of posters, and a large format book of my father's famous photographs and my experience in this world-changing period. I don't have the posters, you can see them in the Kickstarter campaign. The game is a combination puzzle, maze, and card game that's easy to describe, but it's hard to win. It's a strategic, competitive game for 2 to 4 players, potentially expanded to 6, and the only random element in the game is the dealing of a deck of 64 cards with the 4 suits of glass, stone, steel, and wood. Each player moves through their own distinct maze and collects as much money as possible. Each maze is different, with common elements. Here are 2 of the mazes. Each player has a hand of 6 cards, whose plays open or close areas on the board, which are colored, activate or deactivate special rules, which are linked to the colors of the lines, and enable or disable certain paths, in particular the dashed lines, which you can't cross until you play a certain hand. And when you do play a hand, you open or close all the areas and rules and paths on all the players' boards, not just your own. Each maze has a starting point here, and all the paths radiate from it. Different profits are gained or lost across every path, and the game ends when everyone exits their maze. The problem is not getting out of the maze, it's finding the most lucrative way through it. More specifically, each player represents both a client and an architect. The client starts with a fixed amount of money, and the architect starts with none. With each move through the maze, the architect gets money that's paid to them by their client. And the object of the game is to increase the wealth of your client and maximize the profit of your architect. The winner is the player whose architect has the most money in the end. Here are the pieces of the 4 maze boards, across which each player moves their pawn. The pawns are little figures sitting on lucite blocks, which I will be assembling by hand. Each player keeps a hand of 6 cards and plays straights, flushes, and other hands to gain all players' access to the colored areas on their boards, allows movement across the otherwise forbidden dashed lines, and enables or disables special scoring rules for all the players. A colored tile is displayed when one of the special areas is opened. There are 4 colored tiles. A colored disc is displayed when the special rules are applying to moving onto spaces of those colors. And colored rings are displayed when card play has activated or deactivated the rules for going across lines of those colors. Players use their hands to make their moves more rewarding, and other players' moves less rewarding. All the special rules are removed when the first player reaches the end of their maze. At that point, the remaining players move to finish their commissions, their mazes, as profitably as possible. All players can see each other's boards, and you can play the game with open or closed hands. The difficult part is remembering how all the different card plays affect the different spaces, areas, and paths. And to that end, each player gets a summary sheet of all the card rules. This is a new and balanced game. The play and the story is unique. It takes about an hour, and even players with no strategy can win. I'm only producing a limited number of games, and there's a limited number of books. There is an unlimited number of posters. I hope you'll support the game. I don't think you'll find another game like it, and unless someone chooses to mass produce it, you maybe never will. So thanks for listening to this intro. I do have a version of the game you can play online on Tabletopia. You can find that link in the Kickstarter notes. Thanks. I hope you'll support the campaign.